Hey everyone, J-Ro here, back with another Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis video, and today we are doing a damage comparison between our newest physical win DPS in Tifa with her Ever Crisis Academy setup, but we will be comparing it to her older physical win with the New Year's outfit and motor drive. Alright, so before we get into it, if you could please go ahead and click the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I post new videos. Alright, so the purpose of this video is basically I've received a lot of questions about comparing New Year Tifa with motor drive versus her new outfit, because people are trying to determine if this is worth them using their blue crystals on. We did just come out of the Easter holiday. We did just have a limit break banner with Kate. A lot of people are limited on their blue crystals and they're trying to probably start saving for the 2nd year anniversary. So today I am here to answer the question of, well, to help you with deciding if New Year's Tifa is still viable, and how she stacks up compared to the Ever Crisis Academy Tifa. Alright, so with that being said, let's go ahead and take a quick look. We're going to start off looking at the roll streams right quick, and you can see my high win so you can get an idea of how I have my stats. So here are the high win stats, and here are the abilities. And here are Tifa's roll stream. Tifa's roll stream is maxed, so there you have it at. Alright, so before we get into Tifa's builds, first thing is first, let's go ahead and show how we are going to set up for the damage test. So we have Red 13. He's going to be bringing us his Silver Collar for his wind resist down. We are going to be bringing Brilliant Collar for the wind damage potency up. And then Angel is bringing Stalwart Integrity for physical attack up. And the Great Sword A for physical defense down. Alright, so now let's go ahead and get into Tifa here. So for the build, we have her rocking her festive blue daffodil attire with Reprieve and New Year's Mastery. This does give her the 30% wind ability damage. In the main hand, we are running the motor drive. Mine is branded, so it is 808% compared to the newest weapon, which is 1060%. So here are the brands on it. Alright. It provides us with physical attack and wind potency R abilities. Next up, we have the Blue Daffodil Gloves, giving us attack all allies and ability potency, and our exploit weakness. Next up, both builds will be running Premium Heart. Premium Heart for our 3 casts of haste, and then of course the R abilities of boost ability potency and attack boost, giving us that starting physical attack. Alright, next up, for the sub-equips, for this build for the Wind Tifa, I decided to go with Flora Wand, giving us attack and wind potency, Enemy Launcher for attack and physical ability potency, and Bahamut Cutter for physical attack all allies, physical ability potency. So with this, the R abilities come out to be physical attack level 7, attack level 6, wind potency is level 6, ability potency is level 5, physical ability potency is level 6. Alright. And as you can see, Red 13 and Gia both have physical attack all allies level 6 and attack all allies level 3, contributing to our stats here, okay? Alright, so for the materia, both builds have the same materia. So for the Blue Daffodil, well, for the materia for both builds, we're looking at a Triangle Sigil Ruinra that is a 10% physical attack, and then an Aurora Blow that is a 7.2 wind potency damage buff and 3.6 physical attack. Then also another one that is a 5.8 and 3.9 on the physical attack. Alright. And then of course we are going to be running our newest summon here, which is Odin for the wind damage summon. Alright. So For the New Year's Tifa, she ends up with a attack stack line with this build of 16.1k. All right. So the main things to note is when damage potency, which is only level 6 here. She has a higher attack potency, which boosts her physical attack stat further. Ability potency is level 5, and physical ability potency is level 6. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Ever Crisis Academy Tifa. All right. So in her outfit, of course, we're running the 7th high school uniform, giving the physical magic award and class president earrings. So this does 30% win ability damage as well, but also when the command gauge is full, we get an additional physical ability damage of 20%. Okay. Next up, her new weapon in the main hand, which is the class president's bracelet. It does do 1060% physical win damage, but also when the HP is 50% or more, it increases all allies' physical attack mid to high, giving the R abilities of physical attack and win potency. Then also, second hand, we have the blue daffodil gloves, giving attack all allies and ability potency. Sub equips, we are running the Shinra military sword, which gives us physical attack and win potency. The enemy launcher again for boost attack and physical ability potency. And the Bahamut cutter for physical attack all allies, physical ability potency. So with this build for Tifa has the physical attack at level 7, attack is level 3, so 3 levels lower than on the blue daffodil Tifa, but win potency damage is level 8. So that is a difference of level 6 to level 8 is 30% difference in damage. That is damage, not a stat line, but damage. All right. Ability potency is level 5, which is the same. Physical ability potency is level 6, which is the same. All right. And the materia, just for reference here, are all the same as on the New Year's Tifa. Okay. So let's talk real quick. So one thing that is going to come up, which we'll be able to see in the testing, is that why is it important that this weapon does raise physical attack mid-tier maximum high? Well, when you're using this in combination with Premium Heart is going to start us with a 3-tier physical attack buff. So ideally, we should be able to sustain our physical attack buff at all times without having another character sustain it for us. Not only is she sustaining herself, but any other physical attack unit on the team, she's able to do the buff for them, versus us having to bring in another character that can actually do the buff. So this is basically more of a role compression character, along with the increased damage. That damage is about 300%, no, actually, yeah, 200% more than what I have on mine for motor drive. Okay, so yeah, this weapon automatically is gonna do more damage, but it has more uses than just being a damage dealing weapon, because it's not a selfish weapon. It does allow you to buff the entire team's physical attack, like I said, allowing you to bring a different unit to do some other things. Okay, so I think that just about covers it. So one thing I do want to note with building the characters themselves, it seemed a lot easier to get the level 8 win potency, which is what you kind of want to get when you're building a character for damage. Previous builds for like Sephiroth, you're able to achieve win potency level 8 with the Shinra military sword and Dark Heavens with no issue, meaning it gives you room to work with for other things. And this is kind of similar in this build as well, actually. As you can see, it only needed the 1 extra win potency weapon, whereas when you go over here, in order to go back to the New Year Tifa real quick. In order to get New Year's Tifa wind potency boosted up, I would have to sacrifice some physical ability potency, or I would have to sacrifice the blue daffodil gloves in order to achieve that. So those are your pros and cons there between the two builds. Okay. Well, I think that's enough talking. Let's go ahead and jump in and look at some damage numbers. Starting with our New Year's Tifa, then we'll go ahead and close out with the Ever Crisis Academy of Tifa, and we'll take a look at the damage numbers at the end of those battles. Alright, so let's get started. We'll start off with getting our exploit weakness going, getting our wind resist down, getting our physical defense down, getting haste going on Tifa, and we're gonna go sneak an attack in here after that haste. Alright, command gauge wasn't full, so we're gonna get our wind damage up, get our command gauge full, and go ahead and get our wind damage pushed to high. And we'll see what our first real strike is like. Alright, 2.2 million. Nice. Alright. And Jill's gonna do his best to keep our physical attack up. Alright. 2.2 mil. Alright. See, it's about time. We're gonna get one more hit in. It's about time to see about refreshing exploit weakness. Yep, we're gonna go ahead and refresh it here. Alright. Now we're gonna go ahead and refresh our haste, and then we'll go ahead and activate overspeed directly afterwards and start getting in those 3 ATB boosted attacks. Alright. 2.64. Alright, 2.69. Alright, 2.71. Might can get one more in here. Okay, got it in. And we're going to go into Odin. Alright, and for the Odin damage, 6.42 million. Not bad. Alright, and so that will conclude the New Year's Tifa with motor drive combination portion of the damage test, ending out with 30,642,806 damage. And for a single targeted attack of 2,717,307 with a total summon damage of 6,420,377. Pretty strong. Considering that Tifa's motor drive is one of the oldest weapons in the game. It was in her base kit. Normally its damage is 790%. Mine was 808%, which this is still pretty strong. In the animation speed, it's just superb. It's like the fastest animation in the game. Alright, so with that being said, let's go ahead and check out our newest Tifa with her Ever Crisis Academy setup. Alright, see you there. Alright, so for starters, we're going to go ahead and get our exploit weakness going, get our wind resist down, get our physical defense down. We're going to go ahead and get haste going on Tifa and get our wind damage up. So that's the first cast of wind damage. Here is the second cast. Alright. And command gauge is now full, so this one is going to be a full strike for 3.29 million. Let's see, 3.28 million, not bad. All right, 3.35 million. And if you notice, that physical attack buff on Tifa is being refreshed every single time she attacks. So now, and Jill, in this case, he only has to focus on physical defense down, while Tifa is constantly refreshing her own physical attack buff from premium part. Alright, we're going to go ahead and refresh the exploit weakness here, because coming out of this, we're going to go ahead and start using our overspeed here, get our haste going again. Alright. Gonna get one more hit in, and then we'll do overspeed. 3.28. This is our first hit with overspeed, hitting for 3.91 million. Let's see, hitting for 4 million. Nice. Okay, 3.98. All right, and just in time for a Odin summon. And let's see what we got going on here. 6.14 million, not bad. Alright, so that will conclude the Ever Crisis Academy build portion of the damage testing video, ending out with 43,348,320 damage with a single strike of 4,029,529. That's with the overspeed damage boost. And then the summon damage is 6,141,653. Pretty strong indeed. So the difference in the total amount of damage between the two builds were 12,705,514, showing why this weapon is extremely strong and very different from the Motor Drive. Even though Motor Drive does have the better animation speed, but Tifa being able to rebuff her own physical attack up from getting the initial buff from Premium Heart in the beginning allows her to keep focusing on nothing but attacking, while your support characters can focus on support versus having to focus on supporting Tifa's physical attack. Like for instance, in the Ever Crisis Academy portion, we never used Jill to buff physical attack, and Jill only focused on keeping physical defense lowered. Okay, so one thing I do want to note here, looking at the difference in the summon damage, it was about a 200,000 to 300,000 difference in the summon damage. And the main thing that I can take away from that is that the difference was the actual attack numbers, physical attack stat numbers on both builds. While the Motor Drive Tifa was able to achieve a physical attack stat of 16,159. The Ever Crisis Academy build had 15,604. And as you know, all summons minus Bahamut take a portion of your physical attack and your magic attack stat to determine its damage. So that's why there is a difference in that number there for anyone that was wondering. Other than that, it was a pretty strong showing. So let me know down in the comment section below what you thought of the damage test, or what do you think that I could have done differently for the damage test. All right. So with that being said, I want to thank you all for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video or found it informative, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel for more Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis content. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. Later.